Perfect.
Hello, the racing fans, and welcome back to the channel for episode 13 in our stable tour series. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I really do appreciate you joining us. And if you're able to click like and subscribe, it just helps the channel out and gets the content to a wider audience. But as you can see, I'm delighted to be joined on the channel for the first time by Michael Scudamore. Michael, how's things? Are you well?
Yeah, really good. Thank you very much. And yeah, like I said, just looking forward to getting the season going now, really. And yeah, as we'll discuss, got some nice horses to look forward to. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. That was literally going to be my first question. Are you excited this time of year? And the mood at the camp must be fantastic as well this time.
Yeah, like I say, if you can't be excited this time of year, you're probably in the wrong job, or you're in an unfortunate position. You haven't got much to look forward to. But the horse are running really well so far, and with Cheltenham and Aintree, and now Kelso and things around the corner this weekend, feels like the season's really getting going.
Yeah, definitely. And you've got, like we said, you've got a real nice team to go and do battle with. And we won't waste any time, Michael. We'll jump straight into the horses. And you've got a horse called Ahoy Senor, a 10-year-old. He's been a bit of a flag bearer for the yard. And I mean, first of all, how's he been over the summer? Is he well in himself?
Yeah, he is. Last year obviously didn't quite go to plan
Hmm.
with weather probably and different things, and then he'd had a few hold-ups going to Aintree, and so he was never. We were never after he ran this time last year in the Old Rowan. We were probably never really quite happy with him. But he seems really back to himself. He's had a good clean run now up to this way. Often he does need that first run, but
Hmm.
last year
Okay.
it was actually his best run of the season was his first run. But um, yeah, no, he's in great form. So, like I say, he's not getting any younger. He's 10 years of age. Life isn't going to be any easier for him. But like I say, hopefully he goes to the Old Rowan on Sunday, and hopefully with some nice ground, we can kick start the season in good style.
Does that sort of change plans, the fact that he's a 10-year-old? But do you like to try and keep him a little bit fresher or anything like that? It's just a question. It's not really an observation.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a little bit of both, really. Part of me
Hmm.
wants to obviously have him fresher, but at the same time, you think, well, he's 10. Father Time is catching up. It's not as if we can wait till next year for much, because he is 10. Um, you'd love to look at some of those veterans races for him, but off 162, he doesn't qualify for many of them.
Yeah,
So
it's a bit good for that, isn't
that
he?
yeah, so that route's not really much of an option. So yeah, so we'll see. Like I said, we'll start with the Old Rowan, and I mean, look, yeah, we'll see what targets we sort of aim for after that, and like I say, he'll tell us how he is through the season as to what we can aim for, really.
Yeah, perfect. Well, best of luck with him. It'd definitely be nice to see him in the winners enclosure one more time. He'd get a great reception as well. And like you said, he's certainly got the talent to do so. You've got a lovely new horse. Well, he's not a new horse actually, but he won the Ultima, sorry, last season. Myretown, lovely 8-year-old. He's actually won 3 of his 5 chase starts now, and he's gone all the way up to an official rating of 142, fully deserved by the looks of things as well, with obviously winning that race by 11 lengths. How has he been, and when could we potentially see him out next?
He's in great form. Really pleased with him. Obviously, he just had a great year last year. It's funny how things work out. We were all disappointed when he fell at Windsor. We thought he would have won that
Hmm.
day, but actually, it's probably a blessing in disguise because it kept his handicap in shape to go to Cheltenham. But like you say, he's the right age of the spectrum really to still be improving and going the right way. We nearly entered him at Kelso for this weekend. We decided not to. He'll go straight for is it the Coral Cup they call it now?
Oh,
What used to be
fantastic.
the Hennessy anyway, and then the
Yeah, yeah.
Ladbroke. And he will he'll the plan at the moment is he'll go straight there. He'll have a racecourse gallop. He's already had one. He'll have another one this week. And yeah, then all being well, we'll head straight there. But couldn't be happy with him. He's done some schooling, which has been great. And no, he seems in really good fettle with himself.
Is he quite exuberant at home? Because on the track he seems to just love his racing. He seems to really enjoy what he does. Does that match his homework as well?
Yeah, 100%. He's
Hmm.
very enthusiastic and he's quite buzzy and gassy really in how he does things. But actually, I think we started him off over 2 mile last year around Newbury just to get a run into him as much as anything because he'd had a bit of time off and we knew he was just going to be far too over
Hmm.
enthusiastic first time out. So we just gave him a spin over two just to get that out of him. Hence why we're probably looking to go for two, maybe even three racecourse gallops with him before we get him out, because not so much for his fitness, but just so he doesn't go to the Newbury that first time and just completely sort of blow his lid through over enthusiasm rather than anything else. So, but no, he's in great form. He's actually he's done plenty of work. So he worked very nicely when we went away the first time, and so yeah, hopefully if the forecast is right, we can go away again this week, and that'll really bring forward.
With regards to longer term season targets, is it a case of get the Hennessy out the way and then he'll tell you, the next steps from there?
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously
Mm.
the dream for all these sorts of horses is to either be whether you're a national horse or a Gold Cup horse, depending on what you can do. But when you've won an Ultima, they're the sort of targets in the back of your mind that you're dreaming of. But yeah, it's very much like I say, Plan A's Hennessy or Coral Cup, sorry, and then we'll come up with Plan B depending on how that goes.
Excellent. You have a very exciting 6-year-old called Derryhassen Paddy. Hurdle rating of 143, again, deservedly so. Won his first 2 starts over hurdles before finishing third to Jasmine DeVoe and the Albert Bartlett. He looks every inch a chaser, and I imagine that's the route you're going to go down this season.
Yeah, he's in great form. He's already schooled over fences, jumped brilliantly.
Excellent.
Like I say, he's a great big horse. So, we always talked him up very highly last year, and people sort of kept knocking us, saying that form from Oxford and form from Windsor wasn't very good, and he wasn't all this and that. But we always sort of believed in him, and luckily that was proven right with a really good run at Cheltenham. But actually, you could see the way he was jumping his hurdles; he was sort of getting in the way rather than helping him. Actually, he schooled very well. He will probably be out in the next 10 days or so. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it might be an option at Newcastle for him. So yeah, it'd be lovely to get him out really and get his season started, and hopefully he can jump a fence on the track as well as he does at home, because that looks like it'll bring out more improvement in him. Again, if he's going to reach the very top, he's probably got another stone at least to find to be a top class chaser. But another year under his belt, physically he's done well, and we hope the improvement, the going chasing might just bring out that bit of extra improvement he'll need.
Do yourself and Lucinda think he could reach the heights of being a Brown advisory contender come March?
Yeah, I mean that's the dream, is that you hope that
Mm.
he's good enough to go to somewhere like that. Um, like I say, normally 3 mile hurdlers are to get to that level are normally rated a little bit higher before they go chasing. But he is a great big horse that you'd like to think that a fence is only going to improve him, and should just hopefully let him take that next step up to the next level, and he can go up and be a graded chaser with a bit of luck.
Yeah, best of luck with him. I'm really excited to see him go and jump a fence this season. You have another horse by Arctic Cosmos, actually. Apple Away, a lovely 8-year-old mare. Is it fair to say that we probably haven't always seen the best of her in recent times, but she seems like there's still a big pot in her again, maybe coming forward this season?
Yeah, she gets knocked a little bit. I always think quite unfairly in some ways,
Okay.
but
Okay.
she did nothing wrong. Obviously, she ended up winning the trial at Haydock, with the winner failing the test, so she got that race. So she's won a lot of prize money in her time. She's got plenty of black type behind her. We probably messed up. We shouldn't have gone to Toxter with her, really. The Haydock race
Okay.
probably took a little bit more out of her than we thought at the time. And then Haydock, so Utoxter overwatered, and like I say, she
Hmm.
probably wasn't at her peak, and it all went wrong. But I think that the main thing we'll work back from is that Haydock race again, the Grand National Trial, and then all being well, she'll go there and then straight to Ayr for a Scottish National. That would be the plan. She stays very well. She jumps well. Yeah, I mean that really her stamina is her what she really has, and she wants those long distance chases. There's a
Yeah.
couple of nice mares listed races early on in the year, which again probably aren't in terms of distance absolutely ideal for her, but they're nice places to start, good prize money, and usually sort of smallish fields. So we'll start with something like that, and yeah, like I said, the long term aim being a Scottish national, all being well.
Yeah, look, I think you made a fair point there. I probably did her a slight disservice with that, but she has won two of her 11 starts, and she placed in a
We get very
furthest.
defensive of her. She's been a star for us, so we're very defensive.
Rightly so, Michael. Rightly so. Like I said, she's actually finished in the top three in eight of those 11 starts. So my first line of question was probably a bit silly there, but yeah, she's a very nice horse, and looking forward to seeing her back on the racetrack. You've got a really
Yeah,
nice
no,
horse.
she's been a star, and like I said,
No, carry
go
on,
on, sorry.
please. No, please carry on.
No, I was just say she's been a star for us, and like I said, a lot of the races we ran in last year were probably 3 miles or just under. Where, like I think stamina is the
Mm.
key with her, and yeah, like I said, it showed at Haydock, and we'll hopefully show again this year at Haydock, and then onto Scottish National.
What are her preferred conditions, do you think, Michael? Her preference?
I think she likes better ground. Really, I don't think she wants it the ground too soft. Really
Okay.
now, and I know when she won it, entry over hurdles, her grade one there, it was on the softer side. But I think as she's got older, she probably appreciates slightly better ground more.
Okay.
So, yeah, like I say, she'll cope with most things. I don't think she wants the extremes. That's probably the
Okay.
best way to put it.
Sure. Fantastic. We're going to move on to a lovely horse running tomorrow, actually, at Perth. Jet to Vegas. 6-year-old by Getaway, won two on the spin and then was fourth at Aintree in the grade one behind Salvatore Mundy. Look, he looks every inch a chaser. I'm sure this season is where you're thinking it'll be the making of him potentially.
Yeah, like I say, looks a lovely place to start tomorrow. Ground should be ideal. Just the three runners, albeit the other two are even higher rated or just as highly rated as him. Um, yeah, look, he had a great year last year. We started off wrong. We probably rode him wrong. We were dropping him in and trying to ride him for a bit of speed. Where as soon as we changed tactics and upped in trip, he was just a different horse. I think the form of the Calcio race looks quite good.
Mm.
And then I think the drop back to 2 mile at Aintree, like I said, didn't really play to his strength, but the owner couldn't go on the other day, so we had to run the 2 miles opposed to 2.5. So, but again, I don't think with his future in mind, it's done him any harm. His schooling's been very good. Again, he's a very enthusiastic sort. So he's done plenty of work. So I don't think he'll struggle for fitness tomorrow. Yeah, it just depends how good the other two are. But he's done nothing wrong, and like I say, looking at it on paper, I wouldn't want to swap him for anything else going into the race.
Excellent. Do you feel he's ready to go first time out as well for the most part? He's fitting well.
Yeah, like I said, I think Perth will suit him. Actually, he's done plenty of work, so I'm sure he's yeah. Look, I'm sure he'll improve a little bit for the run as
Sure,
they all
sure.
will having their first run. But he has done plenty of work, and like I say, he's schooled very very well. He's an intelligent horse. He's neat and tidy. He does come from the point rank, so he's got a bit of experience behind him. So yeah, looking forward to seeing him out tomorrow.
Excellent stuff. A good friend of mine, Alex, is a big fan of Whistle Stop Tour, the 7-year-old. Won two chases early season. Didn't necessarily go to plan for the remainder of the season, but we know he's a pretty good horse on his day. We've seen that with the evidence. How is he for the summer off?
Yeah, really good. Actually, he strengthened up well. He was a horse we struggled to keep weight on last year. He's quite a very light framed horse. Like I said, the
Hmm.
back end here didn't go to plan. He nearly got brought down at the first in the Ultima, and I think actually in hindsight, it probably just knocked his confidence a little bit, and he was
Okay.
never quite the same after that. And then we made a mistake. We ran him at Perth at the start of the season, and we were disappointed with him. But when we look back, he's run there 3 times. I think pulled up there 3 times, or
Mm,
very
yeah,
similar. So I
sure.
think he hates the place. So I don't know why we went back there, but anyway, hopefully we won't make that mistake again. But no, he's in great form himself. He's actually hardly had a race that day, so he's come out of it well. So he's another one that you might be thinking Scottish nationals further down the line. But he's a strong stayer who jumps well, and yeah, I think again we'll handle most conditions, and I'm sure there's a nice staying chasing him somewhere this season if we can pick the right one.
Yeah, fantastic. Conditions for him, a little bit of cut in the ground ideal.
Yeah, I think he'll cope with most things. I don't probably
Mm,
wouldn't want the extremes of either again.
okay.
But yeah, we would cope well with anything in between.
Excellent. Thank you. Primrose, well, Primos, I think is how you say it. Is a 7-year-old. How has he been over the summer? He was pretty much campaigned as a 2-miler, But he does look like a horse that might stay a little bit further, obviously with that pointing background.
Yeah, we did try him over 2.5 once last season around Cheltenham. He
Mm,
didn't appear to get the trip at all that day. Canted well, sort of to the bottom of the hill, and then didn't
okay.
get up the hill. It's been a little bit frustrating, the fact that he sort of, when he's good, he's very good, and then on other
Mm.
days he doesn't seem to quite all put it together. So, but I think we are going to step him up and trip again and just try. We might be very bold and just go straight up to 3 miles and just sort of see what happens, and it'll either be a disaster or it'll be a genius move. But I think that's sort of again, around Wetherby the other day, he ran okay, but
Mm.
2 mile on quick round around there looked like it was all just happening too fast. You could never quite get into it. So yeah, so like I said, I think step up and trips on the cards. We'll certainly try it next time and see. Otherwise, he's probably at he is where he is. Otherwise, so yeah, we're hoping that step up and trip will bring out that little bit more improvement now that he needs to go up to the next level.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Moving on to Big John Wayne, a 7-year-old. He's only had the 3 runs to start. And we haven't seen him since October last year, but he was a horse that caught my eye initially. I'd just like to hear what you think about him, Michael, because I believe that he's a pretty decent horse. Obviously, it's almost just still early days for him with regards to his career, having just had those 3 starts.
Yeah, no, he's been through no fault of his own, really, just been frustrating because, like I said, I think he would have put up a good performance and won the day he fell at Newcastle. Then he had to have a bit of time off from that, and then we went to Worcester and we were quite confident with him that day. He struck into himself that day, so he picked up a nasty
Mm.
injury. Again, no, nothing that's sort of going to affect him long term, but just it was annoying, a cut that just was in a bad place, and took the rest of that season to heal. But he's back in, he's cantering away now. Similar to Derryhassen Paddy, he's a big horse, hence the name. But again, I think he did over hurdles. You'd like to think he'd be improved massively for jumping a fence. And if that's the case, I think he's got 117, 118. I think he is. If that's the case, he has the potential to be very well handicapped off that mark.
Excellent. When do you think we'll be likely to see him?
Again, I think he wants soft ground.
Okay.
So again, like I say, he's cantering away now. We haven't schooled him over a fence yet. That'll probably be in the next week or so. So yeah, so as soon as the ground gets generally soft, then yeah, middle of November, he'll be ready to go.
Fantastic. He's in my tracker, so I'll get the notification happily when he gets that entry. And then finally, I'd just like to ask you about a new purchase. I've been deeply intrigued by Jet of Stars, who was bought at the Cheltenham Festival sales. Lots of size, lots of scope. As far as sort of profile goes, for me personally, he looks like he ticks all of the boxes. He won really well at Old Town. He moves really easily too. What do you think of him, Michael? Am I on the right track and thinking he could be a pretty nice horse to go forward with?
I hope so. Like I say, he ticks plenty of boxes. He looks the part. The form's worked out well. I think the second, third, and fourth all came out and won afterwards. So, like I said, the form looks like it's got a good ring to it. Buy Jet away, same for Jet to Vegas. So again, the bloodlines are there. He's done everything right at home. He would be, if you were to, not his fault, if you were to put one negative, I think he's not a horse that wants a lot of racing at this stage of his career.
Okay.
He is physically got a lot of improving to do. So I think if he ran in 2 bumpers this year, we'd be delighted. But again, everything he does at home, he does very, very easily. He does it in the style of a horse that is well above average. But yeah, like I said, I think he's owned by Jimmy Fife, and he's been great and just told us, look, take as much time as you need with him.
Very
Because I think,
helpful, I
yeah,
suppose.
in a year or so's time, I think he'll be completely different. Say again, sorry.
So I just said, I suppose that's very helpful when your owners are happy to let you have the time with these horses to give them time
Oh,
to develop.
massively, massively. You've
Mm,
got an owner that understands the game and
yeah.
understands horses. It makes the job so much easier. So yeah, he's been great, and so like I said, there's no plans to. He hasn't been penciled in anywhere yet, but he's working away, and like I say, he looks as smart as any of our bump horses at this stage. So yeah, the dream is alive with him, shall we say, at the moment, anyway.
Excellent. I think I've got half of the horses in the yard in my tracker at this point, actually, just thinking about it. But Michael, along with this exciting team, I always ask the trainers, if you don't mind, which would be a horse to follow for the season. Now, it doesn't have to be the horse that you think is going to turn out to be the best or by any means, but just a horse we can follow, have a little bit of fun with, maybe pick up a win or two.
Let me think. Well, just going looking at with tomorrow's card in mind. I think
Hmm.
you run a very nice horse, novice hurdle horse called Sleader.
Sleader. Okay.
I don't know how he went off at 40-1 in his first bumper. We thought plenty of him at home, and there was a few lads in the yard very happy that day. And I think I think the winner was a half brother to Duvan or something. So and Ollie Murphy has talked him up quite well. So
That's it. Yeah,
you
Will
find a
Star,
land looks
wasn't
like
it?
he'll be a real stayer. So yeah, no, he's a horse where look, I'm not saying tomorrow's his Gold Cup, but he's fit, he's well, he's schooled very well. Again, there look some nice sort of bumper types. Also got some half decent bumper form that come up to run it, but again, he's one that we think plenty of, and again, he's similar to the Derryhassen Paddy and Big John Wayne. He's a big horse, but you'd like to think he'd be good enough to win over hurdles. But again, the dream will be in a year's time when he goes chasing. But yeah, he's done everything right so far. So hopefully he can get a good start off tomorrow.
Thanks so much, Michael. That has been absolutely brilliant. I really appreciate your time. Um, I won't ask you about too many more, Michael, because I could honestly keep you forever. But I'd just like to ask briefly about the sales side of things. There's a lot of horses in the yard that are generally stayers. Is this the general MO when buying horses? You and Lucinda Peter are looking for these staying chasers of the future?
Yeah, I mean, I think where we've been certainly luckiest with and found that we've had the most
Hmm.
success has been buying the pointers. Our pockets aren't deep enough really to be going to France and places and trying to buy out of there. And even buying off the flat and things is getting harder to do. And again, we haven't had a lot of luck really doing it that way. We have a very good system. We have a good man that helps us in Paul McIver. Um, so we do a lot of homework on the pointers. And yeah, we're not necessarily looking for horses that stay or whatever, but again, if you're buying the pointers, that tends to be what you're sort of getting. But yeah, no, we feel it's what works for us, and
Hmm.
again, we can, Apple Way was 30,000.
Wow, there you go.
They're out there without spending. Like I said, we can't compete with Mullinses and Nichols of this world or Henderson and these. So we have to find a slightly different approach. And like I say, at the moment for us, it's worked. So yeah, we'll keep at it as long as it does.
Well, you said you struggled to keep up with them off the track, but on the track you're plenty competitive in these big races, and that has to be a credit to you all, for how well you are buying because you seem to be a yard that can have winners all across the country. It's not like you've got one niche to one angle. Very very good at placing horses by what I can see.
Yeah, I mean, look, it is getting harder and harder, and um, there's people who've got a lot more money than us to spend, but like I said, we try and be competitive as we can, and we've got a great team of people. Obviously, Dad's heavily involved. Lucinda's fantastic. I said Paul with the buying. We've got a great team of staff that work unbelievably hard. Especially in the Scottish climate sometimes, which isn't always the most favourable in terms of trying to ride out and do things. But yeah, we're headed up and down the country most of the time. Even this weekend, we'll be everywhere. Cheltenham, Aintree, Kelso. So we're going to be busy. But we're lucky and it's a privilege to deal with such nice horses. So hopefully we can have a bit of luck and they can stay in one piece. And we've got plenty of nice things to dream of in the season ahead.
Don't think it's going to be too long until they start naming the Ultima after Lucinda Russell and Michael Scudamore going forward. Is it going to be potentially like that? But
That would be a very nice. We wouldn't complain if we got to the stage where that needed to happen anyway. But I'm sure there's plenty of others that'll be targeting again this year. But yeah, no, we've been unbelievably lucky in that race, and hopefully we've got a few more bullets to fire at it in the years to come.
Long may it continue. And Michael, very last question for you, and it's a broad question. What would be a successful year for yourself and Lucinda? What do you feel success will look like this season?
I mean, it's hard to say, really. I mean, just trying to judge every horse on its own ability. But I, mean, I
Mm,
think we had 77 winners last year. With the Cheltenham Festival winner, if we can, obviously it's hard to repeat the Cheltenham Festival winner, but we'd like to feel we can push towards the 100 winner mark. That would be, that's obviously in the back of your mind to try and break something like that. Yeah, so I mean, look, if we can do that, and like I say, if a Derryhassen Paddy or somebody else or a Myretown can win a nice race along the way as that, then I think we'd be pretty happy at that.
yeah, absolutely, and rightly so. Michael, thank you so much for your time today. I wish you the best of luck this season. It's great that you've got such a nice string to go and do battle with, and I know you've got a lot of fans out there in the racing world. So thank you very much for your time today.
Not at all. You're very kind. Cheers.
Thank you very much. And thanks everyone that has tuned in to take the time to listen to myself and Michael. Really do appreciate you tuning in. We'll be back again real soon with another episode in the Stable Talk series. But for now, thanks for tuning in and we'll see you all real soon. Bye bye.